what we're hoping to do is convey that the Christian life can be visualized as a picture. If you think of the Christian life as the box top for a puzzle, for instance, say that this diagram is a picture of the Christian life. Now, say that you were to take this diagram and cut it up and make pieces out of it. Well, those pieces would represent biblical understanding that you have acquired before and after becoming a Christian. If you were going to have somebody put together a jigsaw puzzle, you just hand them the box full of pieces without showing them the top. They may be able to put it together, but it's going to be with difficulty. Now, if you want to make it a lot easier for them to put together the jigsaw puzzle, typically you dump the pieces on a table, and then you put the cover of the jigsaw puzzle box, you put it over on the one side. If you pick up a blue piece, you look at the box top cover, you look for blue on that picture somewhere, and you start putting the blue pieces over, saying, if it's up at the upper right hand corner, you start putting the blue pieces up there. And maybe there's some yellow flowers or something, and you start every piece that yellow, you start putting them together. And you're doing it with confidence because you're looking at the box top cover and it's giving you confidence of where the different pieces go. So now, a new believer, for instance, typically would sit in a congregation, and each week that they would listen to a sermon or a Bible study or where they acquire biblical information, biblical knowledge, and so the tendency is to archive it. The temptation is, if you don't know what to do with something, you file it. What you end up with is believers that have accumulated biblical knowledge, but they don't know what to do with it other than to file it. Of what use is filed information? You look at this diagram right here. As you receive biblical information, it's going to fit in to here somewhere. This serves the same purpose as a jigsaw puzzle cover, to help the believer to visually place it in the appropriate area. Many Christians, in our Western Hemisphere especially, have compartmentalized their life and have one section that's for God and one section that's the real world. That's not the way God wants us to look at the Christian life. God wants us to see the Christian life as a picture. You might ask the question, well, doesn't it seem a little bit complex to start a new believer with a overview of the Christian life? But it's really not. There's a number of different things that are covered in the overview. But what we're doing is presenting to the new believer a box top, a picture jigsaw puzzle cover to the new believer, so that when they receive biblical information, they kind of have an idea of where it's going to fit in the overall picture. At the top of this diagram, imagine the Christian life as a jigsaw puzzle. In this diagram, the overview is presented as the box top, and portions of biblical truth are presented as pieces of the puzzle. It's a very simple illustration, but I think it's very important. We want to break the pattern that the typical new Christian will find themselves in of archiving biblical information